Pearson's ball over the top for Solanke to get in the channel. Great pace from Dom Solanke to get there in the penalty. Across the net! Dom Solanke! Slim pickings in this second half, but when it matters, the Cherries number 9 has opened his league account for the season. A clinical finish across the goalkeeper, and 13 and a half minutes remain here as Bournemouth break the deadlock. Stanislas as the Cherries looks for the second goal that would surely put this game to bed. In it comes, driven to the back post where Ibsen Rossi's pulled away. It's back in and smashed into the back of the net. And the Cherries have made the game safe. And it's a Cherries' first goal for Jayden Anthony.
Hello everyone, Cherries Red Army, and another match preview coming your way as AFC Bournemouth take on Birmingham this coming Wednesday. Got Matt with me on this preview. How are you, Matt?
Yeah, I'm very well, Kirk. Very well indeed. Yourself?
Fantastic. And as always, we want you to subscribe to Cherries Red Army. We're knocking on towards 800. Can you help us get there? Also, at some point in this video, can you hit the like button? We'll much appreciate it. And we want to get your comments below those score predictions at the end of this video. And like a lot of our match previews, we are recording this ahead of Birmingham's fixture on Friday night and some of the FA Cup games. So we might not get everything right, but we're going to take a look at it and see what we can do, Matt. But as always, in these match previews, we go back to Bournemouth's last game in the league. Myself and you, we went up to Barnsley. Was an easy drive. Was a okay first half. Lots of chances on the board. Billing leapt highest to give us the lead. Second half, though, wasn't great to watch. Gary Cahill got sent off. We were holding on sort of at the end. Mark Travers got man of the match. That needs to tell you everything you need to know. And it's not something I think I'll be telling my grandchildren in years to come.
No, it was instantly forgettable, really, wasn't it, Kurt? The actual 90 minutes. The day itself was great, but the worst part about it, and I keep saying, was the game itself. That's the part that I enjoyed the least, and that's crazy, isn't it? With the reason you actually travel all that distance and go all that way. We just seemed to amble through the game, didn't we? I just felt like we thought once we got the goal, that was it. It's job done, and we'll pass about a bit. There'll be nothing dynamic, no intensity to our play, no tempo. We'll just pass about. We had a couple of chances, which we squandered really, and we just allowed that. Obviously, it gives the opposition encouragement to get themselves back in the game. The crowd gets lifted at the slightest, a challenge goes in, or they have a bit of a half chance, and then from there, we're almost on the back foot for the certainly for the last 15, 20 minutes of the game. Gary Cahill gets sent off. It's too late to affect it, luckily. But it just wasn't very impressive at all. But all you could say, wasn't it, that as we've said previously, I think we've all said, we got the job done. We would have taken a scrappy 1-0 probably before kickoff because we just needed those 3 points. That was what was vitally important.
Absolutely, and it was that Philip Billing goal, and the shots for Bournemouth in blue mainly came in that first half. But I mean, the grass was a bit long though, Matt, and the conditions were windy. But yeah, Mark Travers again, clean sheet. I think that's 13 for Bournemouth this season and 12 for Mark Travers, I think. And we needed him again, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. And that's a worrying stat because we've had that for the last couple of seasons. I think Ramsdale was Player of the Year in 1920 when we got relegated. Begovic, Player of the Year last season. Now Travers is probably going to be Player of the Season this year. And you think there's a bit of a worrying trend forming here over the last few years that our keepers keeping us in matches all the time or being overworked, more so with the quality that we've got out on the pitch, particularly at this level. I don't think that should be the case, but you can't take anything away from Mark Travers himself. He's been phenomenal. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll keep his place for this one.
And after that game, we sort of thought that there'd be some transfer business done on deadline day. We didn't expect as many that came in, but do you think that was determined off the back of that result and that maybe we brought in extra resources of the likes of Nat Phillips, etc.?
Yeah, definitely. I think for the last couple of months now, at least, it's all gone a bit stale. I think in the early part of the season, we've done some good. We felt we'd done some good business in August, once the August window shut, and going through September and October, that seemed to ring true. There seemed to be cohesion to our play, an intensity to our play, an energy and a zip to our play. We were creating chances. We were pressing. We were working tirelessly, and we were functioning really as a unit and as a team. That's just dropped off, hasn't it? We've had some injuries, which has obviously disrupted it. We've had a lot of disruption to it, but we haven't been able to gain that momentum back when these players have come back again for whatever reason. You have to look at the management team, obviously, for that, because the players were doing it. So obviously the board have looked at it, haven't they, Kirk? And they've thought, we're in danger here of slipping away for whatever reason. We've got the riches, we've got the resources here. Sorry, this is my new kitten. It's come to say hello. And
first appearance on Cherries Red Army for Matt's cat.
We want to call him Jefferson, but our daughter's having none of it. But I'm still trying to push for it. So anyway, we've got the resources there. But I think we touched upon this in the week, Kirk, didn't we? We're in a position now where it's there for us. The league isn't that strong. We're in pole position to get that second spot at least. Let's not mess it up from here. So I think that was the reason we've seen, 7 players coming in the window, which is, could be overkill, unprecedented really for us. But I think that's the reason they've just gone for it to make sure it happens.
Well, if your cat tries to get in the window box, I'm hoping with Keith for more. We have a fox in the box, but we will find out. And one thing that we spoke about on our transfer show, Matt, was that it's great to have all of these players, and we know what's going to come from the rest of the league, having such a deep squad. But he can only pick 11 on the pitch and only 7 subs. And I am still, night by night, trying to do that.
Absolutely, and it can be it can be difficult, as we've said. It can disrupt. And I go back to saying, when Norwich won the league last season, I know I'm repeating myself a little bit from in the week, but when Bournemouth, we won the championship in 14-15, we had a settled side, and you could you could pick 9 at least out of the 11 every Saturday, every Tuesday, every Saturday, and that is the formula you need to be successful, particularly in this division. And you add bits, you develop players within that. You recruit players that play to your philosophy, to your style of football, the blueprint that your management team, the club is trying to roll out. You recruit within that framework, and you add bits as you go, and you develop that. The worry is that we've gone against that a little bit, and I think we've seen this with Scott Parker before. I think he did it at Fulham. He loves to use the loan system. He loves to max the loan system out and bring in young talent from bigger Premier League clubs maybe, and he loves to have a bloated squad. I think he had the same at Fulham. You look at Fulham now. But we've got 30, and it's now Scott Parker's job, isn't it, to manage that squad and keep everybody happy. Also finding a blend and a mix that's going to suit our style of play and his philosophy, and make sure that there's cohesion there and they're functioning as a unit and as a team. So it's going to be very difficult and challenging for him.
Let's focus on our next opposition in the Championship, and that is Birmingham. And let's go back to August. We just spoke about a tough game to watch, and that was also a tough game to watch. I remember us doing a watch along. It came alive in the last few minutes. We did win 2-0 in the end, but it wasn't a great game, but we got the 3 points in that unbeaten 15 run. Yeah,
we did, and that was at the start of the season, wasn't it, where we gained that momentum straight away with a lot of players missing, gaps in the squad. Young players coming in, which we thought, 4 or 5 of them probably almost, that we thought, are they ready to make that step up? And they proved early season that they really did make that step up. And it was one of those games, Birmingham, wasn't it, where I think we just won away at Forest on the Saturday. I didn't actually go to the Birmingham one. It's one of the few that I've missed away from home this season, midweek. But I remember I was driving back from somewhere, listening to it on the radio. It was 0-0. And nothing really was happening. I was thinking, we've won away on the Saturday. We got a good result against West Brom. We're probably going to come out on the wrong side of this one. And then when I got home, we were 2-0 up. And I was thinking, where's that come from? Unbelievable. So we did sort of nick it from nowhere, really. And obviously, Solanke got a great goal. And Jadon Anthony with that well-worked corner routine with a fantastic finish after Ibsen Rossi had put it back in. But, going on to Birmingham, the research that I've done, Lee Bowyer's obviously come in. He's no nonsense. And he's going to want to make this game as ugly and as frustrating for us as he possibly can. I think when he come in, he was advocating sort of a back three. It was like a 3-4-1-2 formation. By all accounts, he's recently changed to a 4-3-3. What he'll do on Wednesday, I'm not sure, because I can't. Whether he'll match us up and go all out is up for debate. I think he might revert back to either maybe more of a 4-5-1 shape, or even go with that back three and it'll turn into a back five. And what he'll look to do, because they do press, they will press, particularly in their own third of the pitch. They'll press us high. They'll try and stop us entering their box. And they'll use Lyle Taylor, who they've now signed from Nottingham Forest, and also Scott Hogan. They'll use Taylor as a runner, really, and try and get balls into the channel to him and make things happen on the break for them. And they've got Ono Hernandez just behind if they do play that 4-3-3, who we know can cause problems. And we've got to stop him getting on the ball and pulling the strings behind that front too, I think. But yeah, they've got a blend of youth and experience. I think Gary Gardner's in the midfield. he's been around a lot of years, and he's obviously got a lot of experience and a lot of ability. So on their day, I think they're very inconsistent. They blow hot and cold. Not a great record against the top teams in the division, but they can cause problems like any other side in this division. So I'm expecting a tough game, and one which Lee Bowyer will want to make as ugly and frustrating for us as possible and see what he can nick.
Correct. And as we speak, they are currently 17th. They win more games at home. They're not great on the road, I don't think. An interesting couple of stats for you here. 1 win in 9, only taken 1 point off any team in the top 6. Like you said, they've not been great against the top 6. But if you do an accumulator on a midweek or a weekend, this is a team to bet on and a football match to bet on. We don't advocate betting, but if you do, like a 50p on an accumulator, because when Birmingham are involved in matches, in the last 6, both teams have scored. And you look at the goal scorers they've got in their team, Matt, and potentially they have got a goal in them in this game. However, they have got a minus 12 goal difference and conceded 25 goals on the road, and that's probably where their problem is.
Yeah, and I was listening to one of Lee Bowyer's interviews, and he was relaying exactly that, where he was saying how frustrated he is that they just seem to concede at the very wrong time. And we saw that against Derby Birmingham on Sunday, I think it was. 2-0 up. I watched the game actually. 2-0 up. They looked impressive, Birmingham. They got about Derby. They obviously went with a game plan. They stopped Derby from playing. They stifled their threats and hit them on the break. Lyle Taylor scored his first goal since his move, I think. And then they got a second. And then from there, they just seemed to get deeper and deeper and allow Derby back into the game. And then, defensive frailty showed up. So they certainly concede goals. But something you touched upon, Kirk, is the fact that they have got firepower. They've got Troy Deeney there. And luckily for us, because he's always a nuisance, isn't he, Troy Deeney, for us. Luckily, he's 4 weeks out. So he's probably going to miss the game. But they've also got Djukovic coming back to full fitness. And I feel for a team that plays to his strengths, he can be a real handful. And he may cause us some problems if they throw him on. And of course, Lyle Taylor and Scott Hogan. And Scott Hogan was somebody, I think we were linked with him, weren't we, in the past? And it was a very much we spoke to Villa fans, didn't we? Because he was at Villa, and they were saying, "Oh, don't touch him. He's inconsistent. He's not effective enough." He's got 10 goals this year, which has surprised me actually. So Lee Bowyer's getting the best out of him, and he's come into a bit of form. He's on a bit of a roll at the moment, so he'll certainly be one to watch. But the interesting thing for me is Onel Hernandez in behind that front two. That's the area where we're going to have to work to stop him getting on the ball and playing, I think.
Right, we're going to try and predict that predicted 11 in a minute, and we've done it jointly. I haven't thrown you under a bus, have I, Matt? We have tried and come to this decision together. Now, there is something I'm really worried about, Matt. Okay, so I look at this team, I look at the attacking players that have come in, and I want my bum off that seat. I want to see exciting football. I think there's a lot of games that we can really go for football teams. Of course, there's going to be matches where maybe we need to be a little bit more technical and tactical, but there are a lot of games now with this squad. However, we did a poll, and the fans did say that actually it's a failure now if we make playoffs. And what I'm worried about, Matt, is even though Scott Parker's got this ridiculous squad in the Championship at his disposal, because he probably knows the pressure's extremely high now, that he still goes a bit cautious. Do you have that feeling as well?
Yeah, you do. I mean, we spoke in the week, didn't we? And all these players that are coming in, I've obviously voiced my opinions on it. I know you have as well. And then we looked at the 11 that we pick, and I think it was Aaron at the end stopped us, didn't he? And he said, "Hang on a minute, we brought all these players in, but we still look at that front five. We've only actually put Cantwell in there. Otherwise, we've gone Billing, Christie, Solanke, and Anthony, the same players that 7 players bought, and yet we've gone for the same attacking 5, if you like. So, yeah, it's going to be very, very difficult for Scott, and it is a worry that he will just stay cautious and stay with that same sort of 11, those like for like sort of changes that he's been making of late.
Well, we're going to do it now, aren't we? We're going to go into that predicted 11. There's loads, but we've been able to nail it down to 11. We don't know if it's going to be right. We don't know what's going to happen off the back of the FA Cup game on Sunday. But this is our first predicted 11 since deadline day. We have gone for Mark Travers in goal, Jack Stacey, right back. Nat Phillips and Lloyd Kelly to partner centre back. Jordan Zamora, left back. We've kept the sort of formation as it has been, but Jeff Lerma goes back into that holding row. Todd Cantwell, he will play alongside Philip Billing, Ryan Christie to the right, Dembele to get a first start for AFC Bournemouth in this predicted 11, and Dom Solanke up top. That's what we went with, Matt. Happy?
Yeah, I am happy with that. So, I mean, just briefly talking through, starting with Mark Travers, there's no way that you can drop that. Would send such a bad message out to the rest of the squad and everybody else, really. If Mark Travers was dropped, Freddie Woodman comes straight in. I watched an interview with Freddie Woodman, and he seems like a great character, a really sort of endearing and lovable character who's really passionate, and I'm sure he'll bring a lot to us. But you can't drop Mark Travers. Been phenomenal, so he stays for me. The reason I think for me that I've gone for Jack Stacey is because I've gone on record and said Ethan Laird's been brought in for a reason. I really like Ethan Laird, and I think for a lot of the remainder of the season, it could well be Laird that comes in. I just don't think you can change too much in a back four. Once you've got you need to have a settled back four, and you can't disrupt that too much with too many new players coming in side by side. So with Nat Phillips coming in, who rightly comes in, Gary Cahill obviously suspended, I would keep Stacey in and just go Nat Phillips, who Chris Meffam's out as well, of course. So Nat Phillips comes straight in for me, and that's a great addition alongside Lloyd Kelly. And you've got great balance, great mobility there. Two players that can use the ball very well. Two players that are quick, who are very, very mobile. So really two great athletic centre halves there. Brilliant. And with Jordan Zamora and next to him as well, with Jack Stacey other side, it looks like a really well-balanced, youthful but athletic, solid back four. Yeah, Jeff Lerma back in the holding role, which is where I feel he's best. Doing his best work in front of that back four, picking things up, doing the simple things, stopping their attacks, the opposition attacks, etc., and then distributing the ball accordingly up to the likes of Phil Billing, who he's got a job on to stay there because he's been ambling around the pitch of late, not doing too much apart from when he pops up with a goal or assist out of nowhere. So he has got work to do to stay in the team, but we'll stay with him. And Cantwell is a question mark, Kirk, isn't it? If we can keep. If he is fit enough, mentally and physically, then he goes in. If not, then let's not do it. Let's get him properly up to speed before we play him. But we're going on the proviso that he's coming in, he's ready to play, because if you've got a fit and firing Todd Cantwell, there's no way you can leave him out of this football team. For me, he could be the real difference between promotion or not. And then in attack, Ryan Christie, who's gone off the boil of late, whether that's his fault or not, I think he's been asked to do things that maybe he's not comfortable doing. I'd like to see Ryan Christie in a free role, really, and expressing himself. I'd like Parker to say to Christie, go out there, do your thing, take a player on, dink little balls into the box, connect with Dominic Solanke a bit more, run off him, get down that wing. Yes, you've got to work back, which your work rate's phenomenal, but affect things in the final third, get into the box, get more goals, get more assists, have a bit more of a free role in that front three. Dom Solanke goes without saying, he stays as number 9. And I think the reason we've gone for Dembele, Kirk, is because, again, Anthony and Lowe, there's been question marks over him in the past, certainly couple of months. They've both not really shown any sign of any form, and have been off it, really. There's been no link, is there, on that left-hand side with whoever the left-back's been, Davies or Zamora. So we're hoping that Dembele can come in and just freshen it up in that final third and give us a bit of a spark. Can he beat a man? Can he get to the byline? Can he link up better with Dom Solanke and with Zamora on the left? So let's give him, at least 45, 60 minutes to do that and see if he can affect the game.
Yeah, a couple of points. I agree with you there. I mean, I really like the Lloyd Kelly and Phillips. And actually, if that connects properly, that could be a ridiculous centre-back partnership for the rest of the season. And actually, I'm struggling now to see Mepham and Cahill getting back into this team. So I really like the look of that. I think you're right on Philip Billing. I think you have to play Bill because he did score against Barnsley. He's got 8 goals this season. But I would say he's probably 3 or 4 poor performances away from losing his place in this team now with the likes of these players that we've brought in. And there is going to be an argument for Anthony to give him a chance. Now he's got pressure and heat on him. But maybe Dembele comes in for this game. Let's see what he can do against Birmingham. I think there will be fans out there maybe just wanting to give Anthony more of a chance and see if they can get that connection with Zamora. But look, we've gone for it. And that is our predicted 11 for this game. Do you agree? Disagree? Let us know in the comments. An interesting stat for you. This is an in-game match stat. Bournemouth have won the last 8 matches between the teams, scoring 28 goals. Nailed on, innit?
Well, I've never. I think out of all the teams in the football league, they've got to be our most profitable and favourable opposition. Up there, our record against them is phenomenal. Ever since I can remember, and even going back to when I was a lad, and I think we played them I was a young kid, and we played them in the second division, which is now the Championship under Harry Redknapp. I can't remember us losing to them then, and I think we might have played them in the third tier in the early 90s when they came down. We've got a phenomenal record against Birmingham City, and each time we play them, you're sort of thinking, "Oh, this is going to end today. We can't carry on like this." But our record against them and it's not even draws, is it? We beat them every time we play them. Literally, they must, whether it's league, cup, whatever it is, they must hate us. So yeah, that is a phenomenal stat, Kirk. And let's hopefully it'll continue on, on Wednesday night.
I've just realised it must be just the number 8. Won the last 8, scored 8 against them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe there's something in the number 8. Right. Matt, great preview that we put on here back in the Championship, but we need a score prediction. I'm hoping that we get on the front foot on that Wednesday. Can we score an early goal and can we kick on? What's your score prediction for this game?
Yeah, I'm going to go with. I'm confident we'll keep a clean sheet. Actually, I know we've talked about Birmingham's attacking threat, but I just think we look so much. So hopefully, we'll be so solid at the back, but with our own attacking threat as well. So I am going to go for a comfortable Bournemouth win in this one. I'm going to be really positive because there's been a bit of pessimism within me, hasn't there, the last few days, and positivity. So I'm going to go on the positive side and say we're going to win 3-0. I think we've got the players in that attacking third with Lerma sitting and allowing us to have that base and that protection to really kick on. Hopefully we can get an early goal, an early-ish sort of goal. And it'd be interesting to see with the personnel that he's now brought in, whether we do actually go for the jugular, keep that intensity, keep that tempo, go for the throat, not just do it in 2-minute bursts or 30-second bursts and then drop off. And then it's all very predictable. And, we're playing in little triangles without, playing football for football's sake without hurting the opposition. Let's go for the jugular and let's have a convincing victory on the back of this transfer window. 3-0 for me. I think Dom Solanke with 1. I think I'm going to keep saying Ryan Christie's going to score again because he has to. He has to keep scoring goals. If he wants to stay in the team, Ryan Christie, for me, and that front 3, he's got to contribute more now. He needs more. So Ryan Christie's going to get 1. Dom Solanke's going to get 1. And I think Phil Bill might notch again as well. 3-0.
Dom Solanke is due a goal. He's so close to 20. You've gone for a sensible scoreline, so I'm going to throw a ridiculous one out there. I'm going to keep the theme of Birmingham scoring in the last 6 games. So they're going to score again, but we're going for a 4-1 Cherries win. And Scott Parker's going to throw an attacking team out there, and we're just going to go for it. And we're going to start making the league take notice. Matt, enjoyed this preview. You going to the game we're going to see there?
Yeah, I'm going next Wednesday. Yeah, so look forward to it. Yeah, very much so.
Fantastic. Look forward to catch up with you. If you are going to the game, safe journey. Enjoy the game, hopefully. And if you see myself, say hi, because I know a few of you have said that you saw us in the stadium. So do say hi. Match day vlog will be coming. If you're not able to go to the stadium, enjoy the game however you catch up with it. Make sure you subscribe to Cherries Red Army. Please help us try and get to 800 and hit the like button as well. And a big, massive shout out to our channel supporter members. Because of you, we're able to do these types of previews. So thank you very much to all our channel supporter members and anyone else who follow us on our socials, retweets, tweets. Please share the video and help more views. So we'll really appreciate that. But come on, Bournemouth, it's time for the promotion push with a ridiculous team that we should have on that pitch. Until the next video, from me and Matt, we'll see you soon. Up the cherries.
Up the cherries.